one match to go. And we conclude the 2023-2024 English Premier League this Sunday with all matches set to kick off at the same time. And of course, Arsenal ensure they take the title race to the final day, making it more competitive compared to last season. But first, we're just gonna check what happened over the weekend. Are you ready, Werimo?
Born ready, bro.
On Saturday, we saw Manchester City, of course, thrashing Fulham 4-0. This is a team, of course, which has been flying skies during training, and we saw why.
Let me say something?
Yes.
Of course, Manchester City were to win that game because actually we had gone for a 3-1 kind of victory for one, but they kept a clean sheet. Fulham got a red card in the end, Diop making the foul. But yeah, we expected Manchester City to win that easy, for maybe to set up an entertaining match in the next match, which we'll see. But yeah, the match means they're still the ones in charge of the title. Yeah, good for them.
Coming from a goal down to win it 2-1 and keeping their hopes of finishing in the top 4 alive, that was Tottenham Hotspur against Burnley.
Wow, a great game of football because it was Burnley scoring and then Tottenham making that comeback, and a very good goal from Van de Ven. I still don't rate him very much as a good defender, but he's a scorer of great goals. So still, it hasn't helped Tottenham because we already know at this point, because they lost to Manchester City, they are not getting the Champions League football, but they have the Europa League to play. So yeah, and for Burnley, of course, they were relegated at the time, so bad for them, but yeah.
It has been all banter for the Blues, Chelsea, and one of the most entertaining matches I've seen over the weekend against Nottingham Forest, as goals being scored in a span of 2 minutes, 2 goals actually, and it was Raheem Sterling and you guy.
Yes, the mentality for Chelsea continues, and I like it. Especially Cole Palmer has really impressed me this season, you know. Initially people were saying he's just a penalty taker. He's not, because if you check the way he's been assisting other goals, like in that match, or how he did it, it's just amazing. So Chelsea have shown some relentless kind of mentality towards the end of the season, and it's good for them. So if it's a place where if they start next season from there, then they have a good chance of even finishing in the top 4. So they are still fighting for the either Europa League or the Conference Cup, because they're in a position where if they win the next 2 games and something happens, they can play one of those. So good for Chelsea.
Super Sunday, kati ya Man U na Arsenal, gani kali. Of course, we saw a totally different game, totally not what we expected, but 3 wins, 3 points for the Gunners, completing double over Manchester United, whose defense has been leaking just like their rooftop. Okay.
Leave our waterfall alone. But yeah, still a game that we watched together.
Yeah,
a game that had first time this season. A game that had a lot of we need to watch a lot more, especially like maybe the last day of the season like this, when it's going down to the wire. We need to find days like those so that we watch games together and see. But you know, during that game it was tense, and you could tell that Arsenal had the nerves part of it, and you know, Old Trafford has always been a place where Arsenal don't get points easily, but they did it. And you know, teams do that for them to be able like to fight for the Premier League title, because at the end of the day, what do you want? You just want the points and nothing else. But I give credits to my team, Manchester United, that day, because they were brave. They played better than they did the previous match, Crystal Palace. With the makeshift players all over, Casemiro, Weah at the centre back, and things like that. They still put in a shift, but still a loss for them, which means the season ends, especially when they are losing to a rival like Arsenal, not good enough. Sure, there's a lot more that is going to happen during the team, but they have 2 matches to play as we speak. They have Newcastle as we speak. They'll play Newcastle, and they also play, I think, Brighton towards the end of the, as we will see with our fixtures. So, good for Arsenal, bad for Manchester United, but at the end of the day, Arsenal made the job, their job. They did their job to make sure they take the title race to the end, and that's what we really wanted.
At Villa Park Goals Gallo, there's a match I had predicted 2-2. But Liverpool leading 3-1 against Aston Villa. And they just went within on Saturday, as we speak, a 3-3 draw against Liverpool.
Duran ran the show because he scored 2 fantastic goals in a cameo. And he's a great player, I think. Aston Villa have great players, you know. And I think it's because of how the mentality in which Unai has instilled in them. They're playing well. They have not had good results in the last few, but they're doing well right now. Yeah. They have already qualified for the Champions League because Tottenham lost to Manchester City, as we'll see, I think, in the next mention. So, Aston Villa, congratulations for making it to the Champions League. It's not something easy.
Yeah, for the first time, Arsenal fans, Arsenal players and coach were all Tottenham on Tuesday night. But that was one of the baddest, saddest, traumatizing 90 minutes for the Gunners as they waited for Manchester City to get a defeat or at least a draw against Tottenham Hotspurs. Of course, the first half went so well until second half, where Haaland scored from a tap-in before making it 2-0 from
the end.
The spot. Son missing a glorious chance, which of course reminds many fans of the Argentina match.
Kolo Muani.
Yes.
Yeah. The save, Martinez save against Kolo Muani. Well, football bloody hell, people, because sometimes things happen and you wonder why.
And
every Arsenal fan right now is just like the Son miss. Can we call it the Son miss or Ortega save? Whatever it is,
I
because
think, one-on-one, a good striker, a good
should
forward should score that.
And Son can score that.
Son can score that. Not so sure, but depends with the technique you take when you overthink, especially or one-on-one.
Yeah.
There are two ways when the goalkeeper is coming to you and you're running towards the goal. Two options: around of the goalkeeper, empty net, or
just chip it, lift it over the keeper. I mean, many Arsenal fans on the internet are slandering Son for missing that chance. But again, this league was in Arsenal's hand until they met Aston Villa. So you can't blame it on them. But you know, sometimes things come down to that desperation.
You cannot win all matches. That's another thing you need to
understand. And I kind of feel bad for Arsenal because they had a good season and they deserve something. They deserve something. I don't know why you're laughing. They deserve
this season. I need to be honest with you. This season, I think it will hurt more on my side compared to last season, because last season I knew I personally thought we were lucky. But on this season, everybody was like, Arsenal were lucky they didn't get injuries and stuff, and they've challenged City.
And
it is huge improvement. Like when you take a look at what Mikel Arteta has achieved at Arsenal. These are how many years now? Since 2018, right? Those are like 6 years. And for Jurgen Klopp to win his first title as Liverpool manager came in 9th year. So Arteta is chasing a monster, and he had 27 wins, the most in a single season
for Arsenal.
For 130
even more than the Invincible. That's why I'm saying they deserve something.
Yeah. So,
something like.
Okay, so when you take a look at football, it is football. We've seen Liverpool having it 7 points, and I'm telling you, we've seen Liverpool go up to 100 points and they go to Phyllis. And just a question to you. We've seen Pep Guardiola. This is not the best team Guardiola's had at Man City. This is not the best season City have had. We saw them being knocked out of the Champions League, Carabao Cup. They were the holders, of course. But now this team somehow is winning the league. And is it safe to say no team will stop Man City next season?
Well, it
5
looks
in a row?
okay. Somehow it looks like so, because Pep has made this league look like a farmers league, because there's no way you're telling me someone is just coming here and walking away with 4 league titles in a row. So Arsenal have really tried. Liverpool have also really tried, but you can see like it's not easy to match Manchester City. And Manchester City as well, you might see the likes of Haaland are players who are still very young. And I believe that next season they're going to go for it. And remember this season, as you've said, they haven't even played the best of football that they usually do. Most of the time they've had injuries. And I think Arsenal have been able to keep up with Manchester City, especially at this point, because most of their players are fit. If you look at the backline of Arsenal, Ben White, Gabriel, Magalhaes, and William Andre Alain Saliba. Also, like, very fit throughout the season, and I think it has kept them going. Yep. So you never know what's going to happen next season, because I believe it's going to be a new season. We're going to talk about the new season when it comes, but I think it's going to be very different as well, because as much as we think Guardiola will dominate, I don't want that. And I believe there could be a new champion. And you know what? We are talking about 4 in a row, and yet we haven't talked about the last day of the Premier League, which could also be crazy. So let's find out what could happen.
Actually, just to remind you, we've seen things happen. It happened at back 2011. You remember that Aguero moment. That Aguero moment. It was in Manchester City's hands. And QPR out of nowhere, they were leading 2-0. And I feel United could have won that match, that league that time. Because after QPR conceded the equalizer, from the kickoff, they kicked the ball straight to Manchester City.
And you know what? I think at some point they realized that they were relegated, you know? Like, they had avoided relegation. So they knew they were safe even when they lose the game. And then now the tables turned, and now Manchester City won it.
Because I remember when Rooney was just waving to the fans.
They thought they won it. And then in the last minute it happened. But something of the sort could happen, because you never know in football. But again, we're going to be looking at the match which are the last of the Premier League this season, and we're going to be seeing how, especially from our views, to see how it goes. So, do we have any other maybe match that we didn't talk about?
And trust you me, good fixtures. Good fixtures, a lot at stake. I think Aston Villa qualified for the Champions League, of course.
Already.
That's settled there.
Liverpool as well.
We just need to know how it will happen with the Europa League and Europa Conference League. And one decision to know who goes down. Because already we have Burnley
and Sheffield United. So Luton is waiting to win 12-0 against, is it Nottingham or something?
All right. And here are the fixtures on my list. The first match will be Arsenal. All start at the same time. But on my list, it's Arsenal taking on Everton.
It is a match where we expect Arsenal to win, of course, regardless of how it's going to go, because we can talk about Manchester City as well, because now these are the two teams that are fighting for the title. So it doesn't matter how it will go on the Manchester City side. Before we look at that match, Arsenal should win this game. And Everton is not an easy side, I should say, because at some point in some matches, I've seen Arsenal getting past Everton a number of times, scoring 5 or more. But some matches, Everton tend to close the shop, and maybe it ends in a very, very narrow wins for Arsenal, or even just 1-0. Like, I think in the reverse fixture of this one, it ended 0-1, right? Arsenal winning in the last minutes of the game. So it depends with how Arsenal will approach this game, because right now they know it's not their hands. They will not play with a lot of pressure as they did against Manchester United. And I feel like they will score maybe 2 or 3 goals in this one. And if Everton are not careful, it could be even 4. But I believe they will also keep a clean sheet just for the home pride and stuff like that. And that's what I'm going with. 4-0 for Arsenal. And if I have to go directly to Manchester City, because now we are contrasting these two teams, I believe Manchester City are playing West Ham, of course, at home. This is not a match you expect them also to lose, because we understand West Ham are a team that can trouble anyone, especially whether playing home or away. They have the quality players who can do it. We have Antonio, Paqueta, and all those players. Even, how do we call this free kick taker? Ward-Prowse, I think.
Ward-Prowse.
And Souček. So they have a great squad, including the Ghanaian himself, Kudus. But They have been leaking goals recently. They've shipped in a number of goals, and that's why I'm thinking they could score in this one, but Manchester City could still win. And I also see Manchester still scoring 4 goals, so I think they will win 4-1 in this one.
All right, I'll start with the Arsenal match, and of course, Arsenal have a tendency of scoring at least 5 goals. For the last 2 to 3 seasons, they've put 5 past Wolves. They've put 5 past Everton once again, and the same could repeat. I feel Arsenal will score lots of goals because we expect to see free-flowing football. That is what we Remo said. Like Arsenal are under no pressure. If maybe City could have lost or deal with Tottenham, could be Arsenal will approach this match with a lot of tension. But I see Arsenal winning this match. But either way, I don't see Man City losing because, like you said, you've said everything regarding West Ham. We've seen a lot. Now, the only hope for Arsenal is David Moyes, who is set to
another hope, man. He's leaving, yes.
He's leaving,
as you wanted to say. But another hope. You've had hopes from London, Fulham, Tottenham.
My hope, listen, like I told you once Arsenal lost that match to Aston Villa. Yeah. We've seen the history of Manchester City. Do they drop points when they know it's here?
When you put it in their hands.
But we saw Son leaving Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
certain reaction.
Almost dying on the pitch side. Yeah.
So I feel West Ham United will score against Manchester City. But either way, I see Manchester City this weekend being crowned the champions of Premier League, 4th in a row, and our neighbors will have no record like to hold against the oil money. So I'm giving them something like a 3-1 victory because come on, they're going to Etihad.
Yep.
Have they lost to Etihad in the Premier League this season?
Maybe just a draw, 1 draw against Crystal Palace. I think,
and it cannot happen
against Liverpool as well. So those are the only.
So that's it. So you can let us know. Do you think we expect drama, which we saw in 2011? But I think before now we take a look at others. So take a look at others. Do you think, I need your opinion on what Arsenal did? If it wasn't for Arsenal, if it wasn't for Liverpool, which day do you think City could have lifted this trophy?
Which
day?
Which day?
Yes.
Very early. They've done that before without that kind of competition. They've done that against Manchester United. They've done that against, I think, Chelsea or something.
Against Liverpool.
Against Liverpool, some day Liverpool. Okay, like there's the one Liverpool where they went head to head at least at some point. But Pep against Mourinho, a very big gap. Pep against Ole Gunnar, a very big gap. So I still think if it were not for Liverpool trying to pull up their socks and Arsenal, this would have been won long ago. But you know, in football, you never just say this dead because you never know. So
right in the other match, we'll see Brighton hosting Manchester United.
Yes, my team. And today I'm actually putting on.
Remember, I told you we heard 4 fixtures against 5 fixtures actually. 1 against Crystal Palace, followed by Arsenal, Newcastle United, then Brighton. And I told there is possibility of getting 0. But as you speak, you're gonna play Newcastle.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna win against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And against Brighton, a tough place to go to, and it's not going to be easy because I kind of feel like Manchester United are not ready for Brighton, especially away from home. I feel like Brighton could win these, but again, I feel like it's going to be a fight from Manchester United. That's why I'm going for a 2-2 draw. That's why, and that will mean Manchester United, okay, depending on how Newcastle will go, we might not know how Manchester United will end their season where, but I feel like that will not be enough for them to go to any Europe competition. That's for me.
He who laughs lasts.
But I think it's good for Manchester United not to go to any European competition this time because this season has proved that we are not ready.
I saw somebody's tweet saying, he asked like, do you think Watkins will join Manchester United now they're in Champions League? And probably Man United are not in the Champions League.
We've had great players coming.
The response was yes, because United have 3 Champions Leagues
yes,
titles. I don't know.
Yes.
No. So on my view, Man United versus Brighton, or rather Brighton versus Man United, it is a tough match. I feel United have nothing to lose right now, apart from the match itself, and
also nothing to win.
And also nothing to.
No, we have the FA Cup to win.
No,
Come
we're
on.
talking about the Premier League. So you see, that joke was trying maybe to stop me from. Anyway, I see United losing this match in the final day, and I'm giving Brighton a 2-1 victory over Manchester United.
Your papa gonna play. Right, and I think we also have another match.
Chelsea versus FC Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, a difficult match again, but
Really?
Chelsea at home, we expect them to win because they have the momentum. We've talked about them playing Brighton. Is it the day when Manchester United playing Newcastle?
Yeah.
So if they win that match, they have the momentum. If they also win this one, and I think they're gonna do, they also be approaching number 6 around there. They have to overtake Newcastle United depending on how Manchester United and Newcastle will go.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them the confidence to do it because of the fixtures that they have. The past fixtures where they've won a number of matches, so they can win these and they can qualify for probably Europa League, or if not, then the worst they can go is the Conference League. How about
I think
you?
now.
So, I haven't said
Your prediction.
So
Yeah.
I said Chelsea win, but against Bournemouth, I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win for Chelsea. How about you?
Close match, just like we saw against Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, confidence is back, and they feel we are back in Europe football. So this is going to be a win for Chelsea. Once we talked about Cole Palmer chasing Haaland for the Golden Boot, and all of a sudden the gap was created. Chelsea are on a good run, and I expect them to end the season well. Of course, it will be the happiness of all Chelsea fans. I'm giving Chelsea close match 2-1.
Very possible,
Yes.
but expect both teams to score in that
Which
one.
other match do we have them?
Tottenham, but it's useless because I think if yeah, just like the team itself and the fans. I don't know how even Ange was very much upset in the
He
conference.
confronted a certain fan.
Yeah, not even a certain fan.
Yeah.
The way he was talking in the press conference. I mean, there's no way you as a manager, you are setting up a team to play another team for a chance to qualify for European football.
But the fans.
And then the first thing you hear from the fans, once you're in there, is something against their rivals. Bro,
They were singing
loudest loudest of the season.
Yeah.
Bro, that's why I'm saying
It was
this
really
is useless.
disappointing.
Whether they win or not, I don't think anyone would overtake them. I don't know. Is there anyone who would overtake them?
Not really. I think
Checking, I can see they have 63 points. If Newcastle win their 2 games, yeah, it's possible. But maybe with the goal difference, Tottenham are better. Yeah, but they can get the European football because I'm thinking they can win this game. They can win the Sheffield game because Sheffield are already relegated. So they have something at least to fight for, maybe to just like secure that Europa League football. So giving them. They have been shaky though. I don't see Sheffield scoring, or Sheffield could score. I don't know. That's how bad Tottenham are, even if you want to predict them. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Tottenham victory. How about you?
Tottenham will win this match. Sheffield United have not been so good, and on top of that, they were relegated. So I'm thinking of giving Tottenham something like 3-1 victory. Yes. Do we have another match?
Possible. I don't think there's any other match. Maybe Liverpool.
Yes.
But Liverpool's match as well is not very much convincing in terms of if we should analyze it because
they're not going anywhere. Whether they win, they lose,
third.
Secured.
And I want to laugh at Liverpool fans right now. If you're watching this and you're a Liverpool fan, I'm sorry, because last season we finished 3rd. We won the Europa. We won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And
your season was termed as a failure.
A failure. Now, it's time. At the end of the club's tenure, is a failure. There's a failure. There's a failure. Well, I think that is it.
I have maybe a mention before we conclude. We're not talking about kick tip.
Yep.
Of course, because this guy. So I'm talking about Bayern Munich. It's the first time they're going trophyless since I think in 10 plus years. Once it happened, I think 2012.
Yeah, long time.
So it's the first time FC Bayern Munich
are going without a trophy.
Trophyless. Then in the Super League, Turkish League, on Sunday, we have a good match to watch.
Yeah.
Listen up. Galatasaray will be facing Fenerbahce or Fenerbahce.
And it's a title decider.
It is not title decider.
What is it?
These teams, Galatasaray have 99 points. Fenerbahce have 93 points. Amazing, right?
Why should it be amazing? Because the league is gone already.
It's amazing because 99 points, number 1 has 99, 92, number 2 has 93. It means those two teams
have done
proper work collecting points from
others. Yeah, yes. They've done well. And I almost thought the way Fenerbahce...
Remember, they've lost, actually. The biggest mistake Fenerbahce made was these teams have lost a single match each. But it happens Galatasaray have settled for 3 draws compared to Fenerbahce.
I actually thought maybe Fenerbahce could win this season because they started the season so well. They were winning like 10 matches in a row, something. So, but it's a good league. That's why we sometimes put money on it, because the top 2 teams usually do very well.
These are the teams which knocked Manchester United out of Champions.
Which team? Which team? Galatasaray. Yeah, they did. But we were not good enough. You
cannot even remember.
No, we were not good enough.
United secured 1 win. Now Sancho is in the finals. Okay, that's fine.
In Sabitzer. And we don't care about it because we are Manchester United and we do what we want. So that is how it's going to go, I think. Do we have any other match? I think Real Madrid already won the La Liga. PSG already won the Ligue 1. And then Inter Milan already won the Serie A in Leverkusen. Still unbeaten. And they have a final to play against Atalanta, which is a game which is also going to look towards to see how it goes. Well, that is our season, and we want to thank everyone who has been tuning in to our channel, of course. And it's not that we are going anywhere. We're going to bring you more content, because after the season, it's where we begin like now, like never. And we promise you to bring you tips for the Euros. We promise you to bring everything, even the preseason, if we can, we're going to shoot. But yeah, just want to thank everyone who have been tuning in up to this point. Remember to like that, to hit that like button, and also comment with us, to comment in the comment section. Let us know who you think maybe the title is going to go to, because at the end, you never know. But one thing, I'm sorry for Arsenal fans, you deserve to walk away with something like
the good thing,
empty-handed, and
good thing, Arsenal
getting hurt.
Liverpool told us, you will never walk alone.
Yep, we've come to the end of our season. My name is Brian.
They call me Vincenzo.
And this is the Liquid Sports Show.